What's up troopers, my name is Neon, and today we're talking about probably one of the biggest scams I've ever seen in gaming history. So before we get into the video, if you haven't already subscribed to the channel, please do. I'm very close to 17,000 subscribers, and I would really appreciate that. Thank you very much. So it's a little bit of a different type of video today. I just had to make this topic of the video because this is probably one of the wildest things I've ever seen. So just in case you're living under a rock or you're not available on Twitter or any type of social media, a couple of days ago we actually had a new game, and a lot of people was really excited for this game. A lot of people were just like, yes, this is going to be a cool game, we're going to get released just before the Christmas time, I'm going to be grinding out. Even myself, I was pretty interested as well. I heard so much good feedback about this game. A lot of good companies was backing up as well. I even heard about Nvidia supporting it, giving it extra support when it comes to its 4K ray tracing. So I had so much love and support by big developers and big companies as well. And I was just looking forward to it just like anyone else, and it got released, and well, it wasn't what we expected, and that is Day Before. The Day Before got released a couple of days ago, and as I said, a lot of people was very excited for it. And you know, the first time, a first game, everyone tries their best to give themselves their honest opinion, and if they see little minor bugs, they're just like kind of biting their teeth and thinking, okay, they can fix it over time. But I guess the more and more people played this game, it just got more extremely buggy. It wasn't even just trying to talk about support of PC, we even just trying to talk about support on console. Console was running extremely bad, and usually for console games we don't have that too much issues. But the biggest issue was a lot of stuttering and losing frames. Console doesn't even have that many frames as it is, we only have like a lock to 60 unless a game supports it as 120. But guess what, the game Day Before did not support 120 for console. So that was the biggest downfall, and then the fact is the game couldn't even barely run at 60 Hz on console anyway. It was extremely disappointing. On the PC side, they had nothing but crashes. They probably had more time loading up the game than actually playing it, or sat at the main menu before doing anything else. Some of the biggest complaints as well is people had amazing PCs, yet the loading time was extremely slow. So many things you just couldn't even do. You couldn't interact around the game properly, you couldn't even just move around the game without it having to stutter. And with all the bugs in the game making that game super impossible to play, even the input was also added to that situation. Trying to do something, even just pulling down the trigger, and you can't even do anything because there's a slight delay on it. With all this terrible feedback and everything, a lot of people just decided and being like, you know, I want my money back. A lot of people did spend a lot of money on this game, so they did. They refunded it. And just like how it is with most games, a lot of people in the community are just never really happy, and they go always the extra way. And to be fair, I can understand the frustration and the anger, and a lot of people just go into it and pretty much just being like, hey, you guys scammed us. You was hyping this game up, you actually telling us that it's going to be a really good game, we're looking forward to it, and you release it and I just feel like I've just been scammed out of $60 to $80. And that's what the community was like for days and days and days, and they was very frustrated over it. And the worst thing what has just happened now, the developers have just put a post out on the Twitter, on the X, and they have just said that the studio is closing down. This is probably one of the most wildest things ever. I have never seen a game release and 4 days later it closes down. And now this is the biggest thing. What does this mean by the game now? What's happening to Day Before? Well, that's it. The game is done. Like that's how wild it absolutely is. Literally, this is why I had to make the video. The game has been out for 4 days and it has lost its studio. It has no more support. The game is completely done. I've never seen a game being released and just died and literally being discontinued 4 days later. Now, actually having a game called The Day Before does sound pretty right for it. I can't talk too much behind the scenes when it comes to development because obviously I wasn't even there or even a developer anyway, but it must be very frustrating for a lot of these developers to at least have a game and create it for the last 2 to 3 years just to release it and get it discontinued 4 days later. That's extremely tough. But troopers, let me know in the comment section about this whole topic. I guarantee most of you guys have probably played the game already, but this is probably one of the most wildest things. I have never seen a game being released and being so bad and then be disconnected 4 days later. But at least we can say now, troopers, that there is a worse game than Battlefield 2042 now. Anyway, troopers, thank you very much for listening to me talk. If you did enjoy this video, don't forget to leave a like, comment, subscribe, be a part of Pink Army, and I'll see you in the next video.